What up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Jason Heine, doing what I usually do on this wonderful occasion. Now, I want to apologize because, well, you've heard of Rascal Flatts, right? Well, I'm kind of like Raspy Flats because I think I'm coming down with a cold, and so I apologize if my voice is a little raspy. I feel a little nasally, if you know what I mean. And I can actually hear myself sounding nasally, so anyway, I apologize. I'll probably be taking a little break through the weekend to get myself in check, but I actually am traveling to San Francisco, California over the weekend, so that ought to be fun. Hopefully it doesn't make me get worse. So hey, ladies and gentlemen, how about a little emulator review fun tip? I'm here to remind you to please recycle it, don't trash it. Trashing it is such a harsh thing to do. It's bad for the environment, bad for our landfills that are overflowing. But in the same sentence, I would like to tell you to please shoot everything that moves and anyone in sight. I always thought it was interesting to see recycle it, don't trash it, little ads at the beginning, or even winners don't use drugs. That was on every single arcade game I ever played. And then the content of the game, it's like, here you go. Enjoy your Mortal Kombat, enjoy your Virtua Cop, enjoy your Primal Rage, kids. Awesome. So in the arcades, you had a huge selection of shooters to choose from. Well, how about this one? In 1994, this is a little gem known as Virtua Cop, released in 1994 in the arcades from our good friends over there at Sega AM2. Here we are again, guys. Once again, I'm a sucker for these types of games. I just love the way they look. I'm a huge fan of the Sega Model 1 board. But if you watch my Virtua Racing review, then you know all about that. This game did spawn some sequels, Virtua Cop 2 and Virtua Cop 3, but talking specifically about this game, it was ported over to the Saturn in 95 and the Windows platform in 97 under the name Virtua Squad. Lucky for our friends in Japan and Europe, they got a PS2 port exclusively, entitled Virtua Cop Rebirth in Japan and Virtua Cop Elite Edition in Europe. Pretty awesome. What's so sweet and tubular about those ports is that they support the Namco's Gun Con. Hello! That's like having a birthday party every time you put the game in. Alright, so I'm going to jump right into the gameplay because this game is so much fun to play. And if you're at all familiar with Sega's arcade games back in the 90s, then you know exactly what we're getting into here. And to be honest, there's really not a whole lot to the gameplay. Just shoot anything and everything that does move. The game does feature some really cool elements for the first time on a rail shooter like. They call it the lock-on-sight targeting system, where when an enemy pops up, you see a little round dot and kind of like a crosshair zoom in on them and target on them. Gives you a better range of sight and you can see where they are to help pick them off. When the crosshairs come together and they're red and flashing, that means the enemy's going to shoot at you and you will take some damage. But no need to worry for that because I already know you guys are all sharpshooters and you will take them out before that happens. You can also shoot barrels, green barrels, red barrels. Red ones explode, by the way, killing anyone around the area. You can also have a shootout with windows. No, not that windows, even though I want to sometimes. Windows in the game, silly! Car windows, building windows. This game is actually noted as being one of the first rail shooters where you can actually shoot windows, so that is a bit of history in itself. What I just love about this game is the endless supply of enemies. It's just amazing. When you're playing this, you may be asking yourself, where the hell all these guys come from? And if you notice, every dude is wearing those awesome dark shades with their freaking business suits. I mean, it's amazing. It's like, yeah, we came in to do business today, but the deal went south, so we're gonna just shoot everybody now. Wow, excellent. So you may be wondering where everyone really does come from, so let's tap into a little bit of this story. But I can't sit here and just read it to you all nonchalant. The story's so ridiculous, let's do it like a newscast! Hello folks, welcome on High Five Tonight Channel 5 News. We have a new story evolving about a local detective who found an illegal gun running operation. This detective was able to trace it back to a crime ring known as Evil Incorporated. Lame. However, this detective was discovered and assassinated earlier today, so an elite task force was put together, basically two cops named Michael Hardy and James Cools, who are sent out like young pups in the wilderness to eliminate Joe Fang and his followers Kong, also known as the King and the Boss. And later in the newscast, does the spread used on Chia Pets make a good substitute for butter on toast? That's tonight on High Five Channel 5 Tonight News. So, you know, I mean, there's a reason why they don't really tell you the story about these games in the arcades because, well, especially coming from Sega. I mean, that's just an absolutely ridiculous story, but it doesn't really matter because the game is awesome and the gameplay is addictive. And who cares about the story anyway? I mean, you're here to pump quarters in this damn machine. Now, let's talk about some things that are a little strange on the game. Now, don't get me wrong. I love this game, but there are some weird things about it. Like, what's up with all the guys with their freaking gorilla feet? I mean, they have huge feet and their sausage hands. Look at those things. Just massive. Unproportioned much? So weird. How about the friendlies that pop up out of nowhere? Help me! Don't shoot me! I mean, come on, they just pop out of nowhere in their little white jumpsuits and they also have matching gorilla shoes. It's just so weird. I don't know about you guys, but if I was in this situation, I would not stick my head out and yell, help me, then cover my head, duck and cover, and run across the shooting field. I mean, oh boy. I mean, is the name not Virtua, like virtual, like realistic, you know? I mean, I don't know. These guys seemed a little dumb. One of the funniest moments I found was in the second level, I believe, when you start the round and then this truck drives by, right? One guy jumps off, but on the bed of the truck, there's like 2 or 3 bad guys, and then there's one AI. He's like, help me, and his hands are up, and they're just cruising along. They're all like, yeah, we're taking him. We're going to a party. We're going to go hang out. Keep it real. But they fly by so fast. I mean, you couldn't even get a shot off if you wanted to, unless you know they're there and you're anticipating it. I mean, what game can you fight bad guys with axes wearing a purple bandana? This one! Then we have the boss battles, which in essence are pretty easy as long as you just take down all the rockets that they shoot at you, because that's what each one of them does. And then you reach the final boss, and of course, he has a few choice words for you.
This chopper is all I need. I'm through with you two. Now you meet your maker.
And after he makes that perfectly clear, I don't really have any other comments. Nope, no questions, nor comments or concerns. Other than the obvious, what in the halibut is he talking about? You really need a chopper to take out 2 cops? You, my friend, are a sissy. But, you know, ain't no thing. We do our civil duty, take him out, you know, and we watch the epic crash at the end. And then we're greeted by the excellent Sega AM2 ending. Of course, look at this. Got bad guy here like, what, my hands are in the air, what, my hands are in the air, what are you looking at, my hands are in the air, and then you got sausage feet running around, there they go, you know? And I'm sorry guys, but this ending is so awesome, I just have to do this. Okay, so then Fang walks by Dumb and Dumber, right? Look at this, and he's all like, oh, that was my Chia-Pet. And then the rest of the conversation went like this. Hey man, hey, remember that used car I got at Bargain Wheels? Yeah, so? Come on, man, I'm gonna show you. All right, better be good. You dumb son of a bitch, you bought a pink one. Pink! All right, so in the US, this game was ported to the PC. It was called Virtua Squad. Basically, it's an exact port of the arcade version. And we're gonna take a look at it right here. And to tell you the truth, this is actually a very good port. I like it a lot. I think the graphics are good. Gameplay is just the same. The sound is really loud in this game. Nothing wrong with that. But overall, it's a great port, and I highly recommend it. So if you can't get it on anything else, definitely try to get it on this. This is for Windows. I was messing around a little bit with the options. I did find network play, so I haven't tried to LAN it up, but maybe the LAN capabilities would work. I doubt that online works, but it did ask for an IP address, so maybe you can configure it and set it up yourself. How awesome would that be? I would love to play this 2-player online with somebody. I mean, jeez. Anything. So that there, folks, is Virtua Cop for the arcade and for the PC. Really hope you've enjoyed it. This is a classic rail shooter, one of the greatest on the Model 1 here for Sega AM2. A wonderful game. I spent tons and tons of quarters playing it back in the day, and I still do enjoy it to this day. It is the game that you can expect only a certain amount out of because, well, it is quite ridiculous all the way around other than the gameplay itself. But I love the way it looks. Those flat shaded polygons just do something for me. And it's something about holding that gun, firing at that screen, then shooting it at the ground to reload and right back into action. I think it all has a special spot in all of our hearts. Whether you be playing House of the Dead or Gunblade New York or any rail shooter for that matter. These are all very special games. And in reality, all these games just got better from here on up. I mean, Virtua Cop 2, Virtua Cop 3, they just really took a whole life of their own. So with all this knowledge and background and information in your noggin, it is now time for the EMU review grade for Virtua Cop Arcade.
This game gets a B-.
The car's paid.